wow, we have what a game to start off with. We have a wandering trainer's game as we move over here to a cash out from Ugol. So level 8 with 85 gold. Wow. As we move over to there's the Ezreal 3. We're going to be rolling down all our gold. It's basically KDA or Buster. And there's the KDA Ari. Exactly what Dooney needed. Come on, I can't see from a quick glance. He's going to be rolling down all of his gold. He does have the Evelyn.
He's missing an Akali, but there it is. He does barely manage to find it in time. But can he get the Evelyn? He needs the Evelyn. Oh, there we go.
Oh, we got it in just in time.
We do see finally the matchup between the Ezreal 3 and the 10 KDA. Let's see who takes it out.
And as long as the KDAs can just clear out the front line, then maybe they can overwhelm Ezreal to get one final cast, and boom, there goes the Ari. Absolutely sniped.
And yeah, that's the end of the first game with Ugol taking it out with an insane Ezreal 3 at 4-5, I believe. So what a way to start.
And that's a center too. Okay, so even if the items aren't screaming center, someone else is, and that someone is Mortdog. Here, have a center too. Wow, he got Stars Are Born. What better augment to pair with a natural center 2 than a guaranteed other natural center 2? Not necessarily KDA, but we can also take it. And there's the center 3! No way! We're on stage 2, and center 3 has shown up. Donny G with an unfortunate game 1 is bouncing back to game 2. As we move over here to an emo board, seeing what BTM's cooking up, and wow, he did have the extra tier on his bench, and he has access to salvage bin as well, so he wanted the spatula, and for good reason. That's a Vex 3 with another emo spat, 6 emo, wow.
And we're going to see what it can do against this Vex 3, which might actually be able to stun lock it down here, and yes, it does get through to the backline, but now Vex locks onto the tail, flick of the wrist, quick scope, boom, dead, good night, unfortunately.
Some final shuffling here. Looks like Donny's got a similar idea to spread out the front line, center their position down to the right so we can start attacking down onto the Amumu. Can we shred through this Amumu? That is going to be the question. Looks like the Amumu is still going to be staying alive with Redemption, keeping it alive for as long as possible, and boom, the backline gets absolutely shredded.
Like, this is a win out if he just manages to hit and be able to get into the Jazz. And here we go, the Riven 3 finally here. I mean, I don't even think Yosh is like blessing, like, thank you, Mortdog. He's not saying nothing. He's like, why did it take this long? 6-1 Riven 3.
Nicely, I like how he's positioned the Lucian and the Caitlyn away. So loss from Caitlyn and the innate armor shred from Lucian going to be shredding both sides of the board here. But now into the fight, we will see if this KO can get onto the KO, because that is the main win con for Mai to leave that KO alive. And it looks like it does have a path there, and it does. It is going to move up, but can it kill it in time? Yes, it can. And that is an absolutely huge win for Yush. All the gold on the board going to Mai, but it's just not enough. Money is going to save you now when you have Riven on your throat, stepping down, and that is going to be a dead KO, and Mai pushed into 3rd place. We're going to see the Riven where it goes, and I don't think it's going to be able to make it there in time. And no, unfortunately, it does get knocked out by this Jhin, and that is going to be Yush in 2nd place. A valiant effort, but definitely something he should be happy with, because that was an amazing game.
We do have a declaw picked up into the Mordekaisers. That Mordekaiser is going to be quite strong there at the front line, as KO with the Gunblade ramping up is still going to be healing at Samira's hitting away, as the Akali has lit her up and knocked her down to a little bit, as we do have a final Karthus cast coming in, and the Karthus and the Akali combo isn't going to be enough to knock down that backline. Samira's holding on for dear life, but no, it looks like it's not going to be enough, and a very well constructed board there with the Executioners, but because we are playing in the checkmate format, I do believe we have an update on the score sheet. The players here highlighted in blue, actually all they have to do is win this final game and they will be crowned the champion.
Also seeing a fair amount of players sitting on this tactician clan that we haven't really seen much before, and the tempo is just going to be pushed so much higher, because if you aren't winning, you're going to be taking larger losses with those extra units.
Interesting to note here, Yush doesn't actually pick up his Tactician's Crown. I actually really like this from him, because then he can only play 2 units onto his board, so potentially, you know, holding out to see gives some better options there, because he doesn't want to necessarily commit himself into any one line.
But interestingly, now Donny has picked it up, you know, maybe they quite haven't been prepping together, haven't been sharing this knowledge, maybe in the competitive spirit here, but who knows. Wow, look at this. That is exactly the shot that Elmu wants to see, but I don't think he has the gold quite for, or no, maybe he will. Yes, selling his entire bench, and that is a Riven 3, the 6-8-bit. Oh my gosh, insane bailout here. That is gone completely. Flip the tables. The Riven is in the middle, so we'll have to see kind of RNG based where it's going to roll to. And yes, it is going to go slide in the middle, but it is right in the middle of the fire of Lucian, and it goes down. And I think that might just be it. No Riven, no chance. Definitely might be falling short here. And yes, Yush is able to clear out Emu and secure the first Oceanic.
none of the Czech players have actually made it, and that's going to take us to another game.
And Goro, welcome back. I know that you've got a bit of food in your diet considering it's 3 a.m. Hopefully, you know, boost up those energy levels to get the body running again. And how are you feeling after that midnight snack?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. It was a much needed snack. Got the Maccas, which was very required. The only thing open in my area, so yeah, shout out to them. But yeah, coming back to TFT real quick.
Yeah, definitely. And I do believe we will be going onto the scoreboard to see just how close it is. And look at this. 7 out of the 8 players are in check. Amumu falling just slightly 1 point difference. That was that difference in the last game. If he went first here, all of our players would have been in check. So this quite likely to be the last game unless Amumu has something to say here. But 7 out of 8 players in check.
Let's get it started. Let's get it started.
So who knows what's gonna happen? And oh my gosh, maybe come on. But also Prismatic Prelude being an option and Tactician Crown, all insane augments to potentially have insane caps as well. And Yugo standing on the Wandering Trainer, testing his luck.
Please.
I wonder if other players are catching on. It would be interesting to see if anyone else is doing it. But yes, well now Donnie's doing it, so maybe these players are actually evolving. Mine not quite catching on yet, but oh wow, I do think that the lobby has actually evolved. And that's actually really interesting to see. So maybe you're spreading the gospel a bit here with a lot of players now utilizing this mechanic.
As we do see Taro, who's raising the stakes.
Wow.
So yeah, that's very, very exciting. Yeah, really putting all he has into this with raising the stakes this early.
Potentially has a Warmog Slam, and I like how he's holding off on it. A lot of players would think, hey, I have a streak, I need to slam my items here. But he's just going to evaluate to see this next matchup, does he actually need this? But now looking over back at Taro, and he has raised the stakes, and he also has Last Stand. Insanely nice pickup for him there. And I'm sure the lobby's now most definitely quaking.
As we do see Taro go down to 1 HP, already proccing the Last Stand at 4-1 here. He also decided to send it on 4-1. Kind of surprisingly, I feel like he maybe perhaps should have sacked one and then he would have had a bit more money because it doesn't really matter if he loses. But he probably decided that he had enough money anyway.
Yeah, like you said, sending it early definitely seems like hurt him here because now he just cannot afford a headliner even, and he's just stopped playing no headliner. But he does have that Last Stand, providing so much combat power, so maybe he's able to last a bit long. But
as we do see Dooney actually end up hitting the KO3 with 40 gold left over, so he's definitely in a very good spot to potentially win this lobby. As Almumu cashes out another Fon. He has 3 Fons right now. Look at these items on this Kane as well. Like, this guy's board is looking stacked. Both Last Stand players gone, as we do see Bintium fall, Yugo falls. There's Almumu with these 3 Fons, managing to take out almost the whole lobby. Pretty much down to Donnie, the KO reroll player. This is going to be close. It's basically Almumu versus the world right now.
But Donnie, he is 1 away, so he's guaranteed to cash this out. A loss here with 5 hearts still on stage 6. That's going to be so many hearts, and maybe it's going to be enough. He can propel himself to a win. As long as he doesn't take too much damage. I don't think this is a 21 health loss. It might be close though. Yeah, he is going to fall to 5 health, and we have to see what this cash out is.
Yeah, 220 hex. Hopefully he will get an item. He got a bunch of money as well. He got a tome. If he gets a Jazz emblem, he does get a Jazz emblem. Wow, that actually might be the difference. If he manages to hit a Lucian 2 or potentially an Alawi 2, it's really going to make the difference. He really into the Z2 as well. He has a lot of upgrades he can potentially hit on his board. He's got the 4 Jazz. He's got the Zac 2 now. The Z2, the Zac 2. Holy moly, maybe Donnie has potentially made his board strong enough to beat this triple Fon board that he's coming up against versus Almumu here.
We'll just have to see. Unfortunately, still isn't able to pick it out with all of Heart Seal just yet, but it doesn't matter. We will just have to see. Now watch, eyes onto the Zed, eyes onto the Ezreal. Zed is rolling some really good items here. Now, can it make its way to the back line? Front line has fallen on the opposite side, just the Poppy left.
Holy moly.
It is going to make it to the back line, and that's going to be a huge win. Almumu is not taking it home to the bottom of the leaderboard. I'm sure their hands are in their heads. Their heads are in their hands per se, but now Duty and Donnie is going to come straight down to the wire. Whoever wins will win the East Asian final.
He gets the Ziggs in, gets the Dazzler in, taking out the 5 hearts here, which he doesn't need anymore. He's already, got as much value out of that as possible, and potentially this is the last fight of the game.
Yeah, unfortunately, it does seem that Yone's not on the right side for the crowd dive to stun that KO, which might be a huge difference here. The Zed is going to fall, and it's baited onto the Kali on the opposite side and doesn't stun the KO. But now, can the KO fall? Can the Ezreal do it? Can he get one final cast off? And I do believe that maybe it's going to be enough for Lucian. Dodging and weaving and is able to clip out the KO there. And yes,
Wow,
he is going to be able to cut it out.
close.
It's going to come down to this final fight, both in lethal range now, going into the carousel to see what he can pick up. Hopefully, a Lucian is there, but no, it's not quite there. A pentakill
emblem
on the KO could be insane, and will he deny it?
Yorick
No.
as well. Wow.
Wow. Oh my
Holy
goodness.
moly. I'm actually stunned. This game's been
Oh
insane.
my gosh.
He could EDM his Zac here since the Zed doesn't have the best items and perhaps the extra CC might be enough to take down the board. We see him swap his entire board over.
No.
Both players swap their boards. In very good positioning here from Dani Zani. He's got his Mordekaiser right in front of the Zed and his board is pretty spread out as well. This is absolutely insane.
Oh my goodness, now that Ezreal jumping in the back, it might be getting targeted for KO, not quite though. I'm not quite sure if it's going to be done, but Ezreal not getting enough from the KO, and it's just going to get targeted, and no, I think it's going to fall, and that is going to be it. Donnie not quite able to secure the win. It's going to be so devastating for the Oceanic region. Oh, that's just really unfortunate there. Donnie with the positioning diff, unfortunately, was just able to swap out his units there, and the Yone wasn't able to clip onto the KO, and like you said, the Mordekaiser was just in front of that
God.
Zed. That's so devastating to see after such a well-played game from Donnie.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was absolutely crazy. Like I was so stressed. Donnie almost pulling it out together. Not quite enough. Dani Zani actually just out-positioning him, I think, in that final fight. His team's so spread out. The Mordekaiser is perfectly positioned in front of the Zed, so the Zed doesn't really get much value. Unfortunately, not the best TG roll as well. And it was enough for Dani Zani to, take down the win and win East Asia Finals. So congratulations to him.
Wow, what an incredible finish. Just like on the sideline listening to you guys go absolutely crazy with the casting there. It was just so hype, and wow, what an incredible performance there from Donnie. Almost poetic there. I want to bring us back to day one when Angora was introducing the players to look out for, and you mentioned Donnie. You mentioned Donnie wanted to play around these Heartsteel lines, and time and time we've seen it again on day 1, day 2, and now day 3. He's shown us his expertise of being able to get to level 8, get to level 9, and utilize these backline carries. And wow, he does such an incredible job. And as soon as I saw that Jazz fight, I thought, wow, this is poetic. This is exactly what he needs to close out this game. And just a little bit unfortunate with the positioning there, the Ezreal jumping around, and just no Lucian too. It was just super close. But
yeah, we will just be going onto the standings shortly just to see how our players did. Unfortunately, we weren't quite able to close out the win, but Donnie getting a second there. Absolutely stellar performance, especially in that final game. Coming second in that lobby and coming second overall. Definitely shout out to him as well for playing so well. And even Yush, unfortunately, just wasn't able to find some of these units that he quite wanted. So really tragic to see him go out there. But definitely an amazing performance from both the boys, and also all the players have performed exceptionally.
I hope you guys did enjoy the broadcast, and make sure to tune in to the official Riot broadcast next week as we watch the players collide in the World Championship.